Okay, I'm going to work through the steps for project one. So first of all, you'll need to download the start file and save it using the correct name as instructed in the Getting Started section. So the first step is to, well, it describes what the project is. You are the marketing manager for Take It Easy, a company that rents vacation properties around the world. You are working on an information sheet to promote the company and the services it provides. Start by making sure all the photos are formatted consistently as follows. So it wants us to use the Go To tab. So to get to the Go To tab, we need to click on the Home tab. And then in the Find group, we'll click the More option for more menu options and click Go To. And now when we get the pop-up window for Go To, then it asks us where we want to go to. So we can scroll down this list, and in this example we want to go to the graphics in this document. So I'm going to click graphics, and then I'm going to click next, and it's just going to take us through the graphics in this document until we actually get to the one we want, and the one we want is the one that does not have the border around it. So I'm going to go ahead and close the Find and Replace Go To option. I'm going to select my picture. And notice when I select the picture, I have a new Picture Tools tab that I can use to do some formatting with this picture. So we want to change the picture style to beveled matte white. So I found it here. It's the second option, so I'm going to go ahead and click it. And I think that completes step one, so we're ready to start step two. So in the first paragraph of the Ready to Get Away section, it wants us to use the thesaurus to replace the word bustling with the first synonym that starts with the letter B. So I'm going to scroll up here and I'm to find the Ready. Wow, my screen's jumping a little. Let me see if I can figure out what's going on here. All right. I think I'm okay now. So in the Ready to Get Away section, I've got to kind of scan through here and see if I can find the word bustling. And here it is, like on the fourth line. So I'm just going to put my insertion point in bustling. Then I'm going to go to my Review tab. Now you can do this by right-clicking as well, but I'll just go ahead and go to the Review tab. I'm going to click the thesaurus. And the first option I have that starts with a B is busy. So I'm going to click this more and I'm going to click insert. Now I've changed bustling to busy. Alright, so step 3. To add interest to the document, it wants us to apply the Word 2010 style set, which formats title text with a blue underline. So to change our style set, we actually want to go to the Design tab, and we can click the More option here, and we can kind of scroll through here and get the screen tip. I believe it's the very last one, is Word 2010 style set. So change that, and notice it just puts an underline up here at the very top in our heading. Alright, so step 4 wants us to modify the heading style as the heading 3 style as follows. So on page 1, we want to italicize vacation rentals heading. So I'm going to select vacation rentals, and I'm going to click on my Home tab. I'm going to click italicize, and I also want to change the font size from 11 to 20. So I've changed that, and now all I need to do is update the heading 3 style. So our styles are actually in the Home tab, and I can do that simply by right-clicking, and then it's going to give me the option to update heading 3 to match selection. So I have it highlighted, so I want to click that option. And notice that it automatically changed the heading 3 below the picture on the first page. So the next thing we want to do is modify the heading 1 style. So we want to scroll down to page 2, and we want to find the text that says Ready to Get Away, which is the very first line of text here. So I'm going to go ahead and select it. And it wants us to change the font color to green accent 4. So I'm going to come over here to my font colors, and it's going to be the very first one in this green column. Now it wants us to update the heading style to match the changes you made to the Ready to Get Away heading. So I'm going to go up here to my heading styles. I'm in heading 1. So again, if I'm just going to match that style, I will right click and update the heading 1 to match selection. So notice that it automatically changed Explore Our Favorite Destinations too, because those were both set as heading 1 styles. So step 6 wants us to create and apply a new style as follows. So on page 3, so I'm going to scroll down here to page 3, it wants me to italicize the free in-home perks setting. So I'm going to select the free in-home perks, and I want to italicize that, and it also wants me to change the character spacings. So here I'm going to click the dialog launcher, and that's going to give me some advanced options that I can use with my font. And the first tab is just basic, some basic font options, but the second tab is some more advanced. And here I'm going to find the character spacing. So here with the spacing, the instruction tells us we want to use expanded, and then the size is 1.5 point. So I've increased that to 1.5, and I can just go ahead and click OK. Alright, so now it wants us to save the formatting of the free in-home perks heading as a new style using options as the name. So still in the Home tab, in my Styles group, I'm going to click the More option. And now if I look down below the preset styles, I have the option to create a style. So I'm going to click that, and here it wants us to name it Options. So I've typed in Options, and now I'm just going to go ahead and click OK. Now notice up here in my style sets, I now have a style called Options. So it wants us to apply our new style to the pay-as-you-go heading. So I can just come down here to pay-as-you-go and select it, and then come back up to my styles and click Options. Alright, so our step 7, it wants us to navigate back up to page 1, so I'm just going to scroll since this is a short document, and it wants us to put our insertion point in the blank paragraph after the Find Your Home Away from Home heading. So here's your Find Your Home Away from Home heading, so I'm just going to click below it, and it wants us to insert a custom table of contents. So to insert a table of contents, we need to go to our References tab. And now I'm going to click on Table of Contents, and if I scroll down, I see closer to the bottom, Custom Table of Contents. So I'm going to click that, and we get a window, and the Table of Contents window pops up. And in the Table of Contents Options dialog box, we want to remove the Heading 3 style from the Table of Contents. So to remove that, we just need to go down here to our levels and just change it to 2. So that removed our heading 3. The next step is it wants us to insert the table of contents options dialog box, or in the table of contents options dialog box, we want to change the TOC level of the options style to 3. So to do that, we need to click on options. And here with the TOC level, we need to scroll down this list. So our heading 1 is number 1 in the TOC level. Our heading 2 is number 2. And if we keep scrolling, we should see options here, and we want to change that 2 to a 3 and just click OK. So in the table of contents options dialog box, in the table of contents dialog box, we want to just click OK to accept all the options and the defaults. And so now our table of contents has been inserted. So to step 8, now we're actually going to add a heading, or we're going to change the format of a heading. So we want to select a word on insurance and we want to change that to our heading 1 style. So I need to click on my home tab and find my heading 1 style. Now notice that our other heading 1 styles are in our table of contents. So now that we've made that change, we actually have to update our table of contents. So I'm going to click here to just select my table of contents. I'm going to go back to my reference tab, and on my custom table of contents, I see that I still have the 3 levels, or that I have the 2 levels, but now I need to go to my options and I need to change my options. Okay, so it's 3. I just want to verify that I still have 1, 2, and 3. Click OK. Kind of have a preview here, so now I can click OK, and it wants us to replace the table of contents, and now see it added a word on insurance to our table. So you just want to verify that you have this new addition because we changed the formatting on this subtitle. So that's it for this project. Should be ready to submit now. And if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me. See you soon.